The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Wouldn't you know what my nose started is as soon as I hit the button to start. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for the 16th day of April 2025. We have reached the first day of summer. And our replay today is June 20th, 1956, and apparently I am contractually obligated to do every Herb Score start that ever was. The Indians host the Red Sox on this Wednesday night in Cleveland. A beautiful night, by the way. I think it's at 78 degrees. And in the 3 days in game time since we were with you last, or the last Herb Score start, the Indians have taken a 2-game lead over the Chicago White Sox, who you will see either tomorrow or Monday. They are coming up on the channel. We got them coming up. The White Sox, a little premature for the Go-Go Sox, but they're there and making some noise. The big story in the American League seemingly is the collapse again of the New York Yankees as my cat comes into the picture. No, you can't do that. You going to lay down? You can't do my pretend stuff if you're going to be in my way. The Yankees have dropped a bunch of games in a row to the Tigers and have now fallen under 500 again. They are 6 games back of Cleveland. Red Sox come into this one. Again, no Ted Williams. Mr. Williams does not want to be looked at, Ron. Are 3 back. The White Sox are 2 back, and Cleveland leads the American League. Herb Score, Bob Porterfield, next. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1956. Today from Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, it is the Cleveland Indians and the Boston Red Sox. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. So it is Herb Score again. Jeremiah, all replayers have cats. Yep, good afternoon there, Tribe Fan. Gardner has dogs. He did have a cat. Well, the Herb Score life story brought to you by Lifetime Movies. He is making his 12th start. I promise we won't do every Herb Score start the rest of the way. He has, however, Tim doesn't have any cats. I didn't know that. Score is 6-6 because I can read, with an earned run average of 309. He had a monster game his last time out, struck out a season high, maybe even a career high 14, but Al Smith drove in 6 in that 10-2 win over the Yankees and got the Digital Dice MVP. So in that game 4 days ago, he went 9 innings, 148 pitches, 7 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 4 and struck out, as we said, a season-high 14. That should end his run of relief starts. So overall, 90 1/3 innings for Herb, 64 hits, 35 runs, 31 earned, 9 homers, 45 walks, and a whopping 109 strikeouts. He's 23 years old, throws a fastball at 94, and is a fly ball pitcher as the cat decides what she wants to do. And that is cuddle. So she's on my leg. I will be doing the Red Sox today because I always do the Red Sox. And so those of you who think I show a Red Sox bias, I'm playing the Red Sox. Think of that what you will. Jimmy Pearsall leads off in center field. Billy Klaus is at third. He'll bat second. Again, with Score on the mound, Ted Williams says, I'm taking the day off. Dick Gernert is in left. He'll go third. Jackie Jensen in right will clean up. Norm Zouchin will bat fifth and play first base. Ted Lepsio at second going sixth. Sammy White behind the plate going seventh. Don Budden at short bats eighth, and Bob Porterfield, I'm not a stake, on the mound batting ninth. Score can get you 150 pitches. Defensively for Cleveland, Gene Woodling a 6 and a 3 in left. Jim Busby a 9 and a 7 in center. Al Smith, who had that monster game against the Yankees the other day, a 6 and a 6 in right. Al Rosen a 5 at third. Chico Carrasquel a 6 and a 7 at short. Bobby Avila, a 6 and a 6 at second. Vic Wertz, a 5 at first. Jim Hegan, a 9 and an 8 behind the plate. And score is a 2 and the 909 on the mound. No pets at all. Is that by choice or is that because of the living situation? It's not a dog day afternoon. It is a gorgeous Tuesday or Wednesday night, June 20th, 1956, 78 degrees. Not a breath of wind here in Cleveland. Lake Erie is still and calm and clear as it possibly could ever have been in 1956. For the Red Sox, this is game 58, and for the Indians, it's game 58. Cleveland 34 and 23 in first place. The Red Sox in third, 3 back at 31 and 26. Pearsall stepping in at 230, a home run, and 24 RBI. Score starts the ball game. Strike 3, swung right through a changeup on a 1-2 count, and that's how this one starts. Billy Klaus, the lefty. Oh, the only lefty in the lineup for Boston. This is not going to go well. At 282, 3 home runs and 23 RBI. Little column A and a little column B. As Tim practices Mambo number 2, a little bit of Monica in his life. A little bit of Rita is all I need. However, that Sandra in the sun is just a bridge too far. Pitch to Klaus. Left center field. Back goes Busby. Makes the catch. 2 out for Gernert. Dick at 288, 9 home runs and 33 RBI. We're sitting there the other day on Monday wishing people a happy birthday, including Demos, who turned a nice big round number. And Brent DeHart comes in, and apparently he did this part. It was his birthday Monday, and he never said a word. Belated happy birthday. Pitch to Gernert. Fly ball right field. Smith down the line. That's hooking. Foul. And somebody from Akron made that catch. I see that the weekend of the 23rd and 24th of August will be the APA football convention at the Hall of Fame in Canton. The 1-2. Struck him out. That's 2 for score. He's on a roll. Fastball chased out of the zone, and that will do. Red Sox go in order. After half an inning, Boston nothing. Here comes Cleveland. So Mr. Porterfield making his 10th start of 18 starts. He is 33 years old. Fastball at 83 and a fly ball plus pitcher. The good news, if you're a Red Sox fan, is he's 4-0 with a 3.84 ERA. If you look at those real numbers, it's not going to last. 3-12 with a 5.14 ERA. His last outing came on the 15th in a 4-3 loss to the Tigers. He hasn't had a decision since May 27th or his last 4 appearances. 6 innings against those Tigers, 91 pitches, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 2 homers. He does give up the long ball. And a rare thing, even in 1956, he didn't walk anybody, nor did he strike out anybody. 65 2/3 for Bob, 61 hits, 33 runs, 28 earned, 10 home runs. He has walked 23 and struck out 27. Cleveland's lineup this evening. Bobby Avila will bat second and lead off. Gene Woodling in left will go second. Al Smith is in right. He'll go third. Vic Wertz cleans up at first. Al Rosen will bat fifth and play third. Jim Busby in center going sixth. Carrasquel slides down to seventh in the lineup at short. Hegan behind the plate will go eighth. And Herb Score on the mound batting ninth. Porterfield will throw about 125 pitches before all is said and done. Defensively for the Red Sox, before we get to the birthdays, Dick Gernert is a 5 and a 5 in left. Jimmy Pearsall a 9 and an 8 in center. Jackie Jensen a 7 and a 7 in right. Billy Klaus is a 6 at third. Budden a 6 and a 7 at short. Lepsio a 5 and an 8 at second. Zauchin, this is the all-pronunciation team, is not a great first baseman. He's a 2, and that 990 is not a good fielding percentage as a first baseman. Sammy White an 8 and a 7 behind the plate. Porterfield is a 4 with a .917 fielding percentage. Birthday wishes today go to Jim Longborg. The dentist is 83. Bruce Bochy is 70. Bochy. Fernando Visa, he's everywhere you want to be, is 56. Antonio Alfonseca is 53. Travis Shaw is 35. Nolan Arenado is 34. And if it's your birthday the 16th day of April, happy birthday. Avila at 249, 4 homers and 19 RBI. Aw, Jamie had a couple dogs, but just had one pass away a couple weeks ago. I'm so sorry to hear that. It is never easy to lose a pet. Pitch to Avila. That is up the middle. Budden cuts it off by the bag at second. Throws to first. 1 out. And there's never an easy transition when you have to talk about something sad and then go right back to the ballgame. Gene Woodling at 269. 2 homers and 8 RBI. Oh, Fernando Vina. I was trying to think of who Fernando Visa was. He is a credit to himself. Yeah, no, it's not easy. It's not easy. Woodling, I think I gave you his numbers. Pitch to Gene. Into shallow right center. Pearsall coming in. 2 out for Al Smith. Smith again had that grand slam against the Yankees in the first the other day. Overall at 261. 4 homers. And 34 RBI. Parallel League says Longborg and Champaign on his birthday. A very good friend of mine who I used to work for, it is a ardent, diehard Detroit everything fan. And he grew up in Montpelier, Vermont. And did not like the Red Sox. I'm still friends with him anyway. And so on that the morning of Game 7 of the 1967 World Series, and he knows that if the Red Sox win, that he'll never hear the end of it being a Tiger fan, which would have been worse than I think for him than being a Yankee fan. So he is, I think, 6 or 7 years old. And so the Boston Herald Traveler that morning ran that on the front page of the paper, Longborg and Champaign. Pitch to Smith is a bouncer in the left that will drop in front of Gernert, and Cleveland as the first base runner of the game. And so they didn't win Game 7. The Cardinals won Game 7 and won the World Series. And the fact that that stuck with him for all those years with that big Cheshire Cat grin on his face, yeah, it wasn't Longborg and Champaign after all. Vic Wertz at 270, 19 homers and 47 RBIs, a 7-game hitting streak. Needless to say that Fernando did not want to be on that Bell train in 96. No. Albert Bell is a person that is probably not on the top of many Christmas card lists in Major League Baseball. Pitch to Wertz, and Vic draws the walk. So first and second, 2 out for Al Rosen, inning 235, 4 homers and 26 RBI. That is into left center field. That will drop. Gernert will pick it up after a poor play. Smith around third to score, and Cleveland gets the first run of the ball game. It's 1-0. So poor play for Gernert. Here's Busby at 259, 8 homers and 29 RBI. So 2 quick out, and then 3 straight on. Busby cut off by Klaus. He'll go to Lepsio for the easy out at second, and that will retire the side. On the 5-4 fielder's choice, Cleveland gets a run on 2 hits. They strand 2, and after 1, it's the Indians 1, the Red Sox 0. So Jensen, Zauchin, and Lepsio to face score here in the second. Jackie at 291, 11 home runs and 49 RBI. Popped up. Hegan to the screen. No. 2-2 the count. Jensen into shallow right. That will drop in front of Smith, and that's the first Red Sox hit. For Zauchin, hitting 200, 8 for 40 with 2 RBI. Red Sox 31-26, one of the pleasant surprises of this replay. And the 54 champion Indians at 34-23 in first place. Got him. That's 3 for score. A 1-2 fastball. Sawx swung, but he didn't see it. Here's Lepsio at 257, 3 homers and 9 RBI. Am I nervous about the Canadiens game tonight against the Hurricanes? I think the playoffs would be a plus. I think they're heading in the right direction. At the moment, they'd be the second wild card. Washington's going to win that series anyway. And good luck to your Devils. Pitch to Lepsio. There is a little looper to Rosen, and that will retire Ted. Oh, Jensen can steal. 2 out for Sammy White at 284. 2 homers and 34 RBI. How you doing, Andrew? Why not? Let's go. Runner goes to throw down to Avila, and Jensen has his 4th steal. Which may have been a Red Sox record in that decade. This was not a team that ran the bases very well. So Jackie, the tying run on second, and a 1-strike count to Sammy White. Popped up. Rosen pretends to give chase. That is clearly foul. And somebody from Dayton made that catch. 0-2 the count. Aw, it's Andrew's dog that's in his YouTube avatar and passed away last May. It is amazing how wonderful they are to us, and we take them on knowing that we will outlive them as my cat sleeps on my leg. Pitch to White. There is a ground ball to Carrasquel over to Wirtz, and that will retire the side. So Jensen stranded at second. Red Sox leave on a runner. Inning and a half in the books. 1-0 Cleveland. So Carrasquel, Hegan, and Score to face Porterfield. Chico at 252. Already has 6 homers. It's that and 202 at-bats, and he's driven in 21. As a Blue Jacket fan, Tribe fan says, I'm stuck between Phil Collins' One More Night or the Bee Gees' Staying Alive as your theme songs. I'd play them for you on Madam Speaker, but I don't need to get copyrighted. You need the Canadians to lose tonight, right? Pitch to Carrasquel. Chico rips this one into right center for a base hit, and Jensen can't make the play. So Jensen bobbled it, and Carrasquel is on second standing. Give a single to Chico and an error to Jensen, and it's a runner on second. Nobody out for Hegan, hitting 238, 3 homers and 13 RBI. I'm sure she was a great dog, Jamie. So Cleveland threatening again. Pitch to Hegan is laced foul right side, and Sawx gives chase, but won't get there. A frozen rope. Someone that is wearing a brown jacket made that catch. 2-2 the count. Hegan into left field. Back goes Gernert, way back there, and gone. So the Indians go up 3-0. Hegan, second stream of the week, and he hits his second home run of the week. His 4th of the year. That was down the line, and it's 3-0 Cleveland. Porterfield just kind of left that one out over the plate, and Hegan just gave it a ride. Oh, they need to lose in regulation. A loss in OT or a shootout means elimination for Columbus. Parallel league sitting on the porch with his glove. You'll get one eventually. Yeah, last time I saw a Boston-Cleveland game on this channel, Ted Williams was fishing on the lake. Yeah, he is. With Score on the mound. Ted didn't play against a lot of lefties. Score, by the way, at 172 and 3 RBI. 3-0 Tribe. Nobody out here in the second. Ray, how are you? As a 12-year-old Cardinal fan, despite the Cardinals winning in 7 games, I still remember when Longboard threw the one-hit shutout in Game 2. Okay. Jim got into that skiing accident after 67 and wasn't the same dominant pitcher he was. but had a great career as a mid-rotation starter. And when the Phillies got good in the late 70s, he was on the roster in both 76 and 77. Pitch to score. No, that's a replay. Let's watch that home run again because Ron forgot to move the mouse. And thanks for being a channel member, Ray. Now score. That is to second. Lepsio rips it away, throws to first, and score is retired. I was not around in 67. 1 out for Avila. Bobby 0 for 1. Porterfield opening 9, 31 pitches, inning in a third, 4 hits. The home run to Hegan and a walk. Our friend Bernie Strom was sitting somewhere behind home plate the next to last day of the regular season, which is the oldest surviving 9-inning color telecast preserved on videotape from September 30, 67. And somewhere is Little Bernie on Channel 5 WHDH out of Boston, which no longer exists. I'm sure Bernie appreciated being on more in a Red Sox game than being in the audience for the Bozo Show, which was on Channel 5 then. Pitch to Avila. There is a ground ball foul, third base side. My uncle, Ray, was a huge Cardinal fan. In fact, every time I saw a National League game, when he bought the tickets, we went to see the Cardinals. The 1-2 to Avila. There is a ground ball to third. Klaus has it over to Zalchin for the out. Avila's retired 2 away. No, it's an error. Ha ha! Oh, you should look at the screen, Ron. Klaus throws it away. That's in the dugout. And instead of that being the second out, that is a 2-base error. Avila on second. That's what I get for reading the chat. Here's Woodling. Gene is 0 for 1. So Porterfield getting a bit steamed. Klaus's throw was way off the mark. Red Sox are not playing like a third-place team today. Pitch to Woodling. That's into center. Back goes Pearsall. Jimmy will make that catch, and Avila will hold at second. 2 out for Al Smith, who has a single and a run scored. 3-0 Cleveland. 2 out here in the second. Looking for their second straight blowout of the week on the channel. And he draws the walk. How you doing, Scotty? Who you sitting for today? Scotty was enjoying the company of a 19-year-old cat the other day. Vic Wirtz walked his first time up. Chopper down to second. Lepsio's got it. Throws to first, and that will do. However, Indians, 2 runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors. It's bad. It's bad. After 2, it's the Indians 3, the Red Sox nothing. So score to face Budden, Porterfield, and Pearsall here in the third. Don at 282, 4 home runs and 29 RBI. That is laced to left, and fair ball down the line. Extra bases for Budden as Woodling has to go grab it. Rosen dove, but he dove late, and Don is into second with his 18th double of the year. My uncle was a huge Bozo fan. I'm more of Bozo's generation. My mom, I had an uncle that would have been right in Bozo's wheelhouse, but we didn't have Bozo the Clown in the 70s where I grew up. There was no WGN on cable in 1975. Bob Porterfield is going to bunt here. He's hit it. Wow, maybe not. 440, 11 for 25. We'll swing. Ground ball to Carrascal. Looks Budden back. Throw to Wirtz. And Porterfield is retired. But Budden wasn't in double play range anyway, so that's fine. 1 out for Pearsall. Jim Fear struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Score opening 9, 38 pitches, 2 1/3, 2 hits, and 3 strikeouts. Your uncle was a big bozo. I charge $150 an hour for this type of conversation, Paleo League. when I moved to New Mexico, I remember it was a big deal. We had cable, and they added channels on July 1st, 1979. We had TBS. We got WGN out of Chicago, KTTV out of Los Angeles, another station out of Los Angeles, and we had something out of Houston. Might have been WOR in New York, but although that wouldn't have made sense. And so we got Bozo and Ray Rayner. Cubs games. I watched a lot of Cubs games. Pearsall 0 for 1. He struck out. He'll go down again. Score got him on a 1-2 fastball swinging. 2 out for Klaus, who's 0 for 1. How you doing, Barbara? He had that Hollywood look, talking about Longborg, and looked like a staff ace that day. He did. They don't go to the series without him in 67. Especially after Caglignaro went down. Next stop is a 1.5-year-old golden retriever named Boo. More energy than the cat couple days in Central Washington before that. And again, goat time is coming. That's got to be such a yin-yang thing for you, Scotty, going from senior cat to 1.5-year-old puppy. 2 out for Klaus. Pitch struck him out. That's 5 for score. Full count fastball swung on and missed. Red Sox get a hit. They've left on 2. After 2.5, Cleveland 3, Boston nothing. So Rosen, Busby, and Carrasquel to face Porterfield here in the 3rd. Al singled home a run in the 1st. There's a ground ball to Klaus over to Zauchin. I'll watch this time. 1 out. And for Scotty, it will be me and you and a dog named Boo. Living and laughing on the land. Hopefully the pantry has good food. Goats are next after Boo. It's a 50-day journey. Hopefully the weather remains good for you. Busby 0 for 1. Porterfield's pitch. Walked him. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Has one more night stuck in his head. Just give me one more night. Or if you're Kathy Lee Johnson on Name That Tune, la, 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 as I'll be waiting. Pitch to Carrasquel. Draws a walk. He was 1 for 1. Does that qualify me for being a nighttime DJ back in the 80s? Love songs at night. Jimmy Hegan homered his first time up in the 2nd. He now has 4 on the year, 2 on the week, and he's driven in 15. Busby on 2nd, Carrasquel on 1st. Cleveland making a sham mockery out of this. It's 3-0 already here in the 3rd. Porterfield's pitch, that's in the shallow right. He'll go the opposite way. Jensen comes in, makes the catch, and everybody's got to move back. For score with 2 out, Herb's 0 for 1. Now, I told you in the mid-'80s I lived in southern Vermont. I wasn't up here in Burlington yet, and you all remember when there was good music on AM radio. And so the Mets in the mid-'80s were on 1050 WHN, 50,000-watt station in New York. And where I lived, it clashed with 1050 Chum out of Toronto, or Tirana, depending on where you live, which was the preeminent top 40 station in Toronto, at least on the AM dial. Pitch to score. Herb in the right center. Pearsall going back in the alley makes the catch, and that'll do. Cleveland cannot take advantage of that. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the 4th, 3-0 Cleveland. So Gernert, Jensen, and Zauchin to face score here in the 4th. So anyway, so you'd have a night game where the Mets were on, and so you'd get Bob Murphy and Gary Thorne blaring through with the adventures of the 85 Mets. And because it would clash, unlike FM where one station will null out the other, Both stations were kind of going in and out and in and out. And so you'd get like Madonna's Holiday over Bob Murphy's call of a Dwight Gooden strikeout. Explain that one to the Fortnite crowd, huh? Pitch to Gernert. Struck him out. Speaking of which, 6 for score. A full count fastball chased. One out for Jensen. Jackie singled and stole a base his first time up. Even worse is Bozo singing it. Give me one more night. Just one more night. They're going to drag me out of here one day, I'm sure. At least better a love song than Every Breath You Take, which is not about love but stalking. Yes. Yeah, that is creepy. Pitch to Jensen. Struck him out. 7 for score. Every breath you take. Yes. Zouchin is 0 for 1. He is struck out. Score is on fire tonight. He now has fanned 116 in 94 innings. 2 out. Ground ball to first. It's not a side splitter. Wirtz to the bag, and we're through 3.5. Sawx go in order. Bottom 4, 3-0 Cleveland. The legendary kids host around here was J.P. Patches in the Seattle area, a clown who lived at the Seattle dump. He was on from 58 to 81. That's a long time. Was that Bullwinkle? It was not Rocky. I was just trying to do some it was supposed to be Bozo, but it was just some random kid's character. Standings as we play the games of June 20th, 1956. There are times I'm not quite sure what the direction of this channel is. Let's start with the National League. The Dodgers have taken over first place. Milwaukee has struggled against them, although they're still playing .660 ball. Dodgers a half game up on the Braves. Cincinnati 5.5 back, although they're playing better. And then it's everyone else is under 500. St. Louis, the Cubs, the Giants, and Philly and Pittsburgh. In the American League, Cleveland 2.5 over the White Sox. The Red Sox and Tigers are tied for third at 31 and 26, 3 back. The Yankees they're under 500. We played 59 games. This is not just a fluke. It's a trend. Baltimore 8 back at 27 and 32. Washington playing better than expected, and Lenny Dawson can't get to Kansas City fast enough. The Retro Sports Variety Hour. Yep. It'll be the top of the lineup for Cleveland here in the fourth. Porterfield's already faced 18 batters. That's not good. 69 pitches, 3 innings, 4 hits. All 3 runs are earned despite the 2 Red Sox errors. 4 hits, the homer from Hegan, and he's walked 4. Are the Giants still in the league? No. No, they're not. Up the middle, a base hit. Avila with a chance to steal. Here's Woodling. Gene is 0 for 2. Porterfield throws to first. Avila is back. This would have been about the time in 56 when the Giants were talking with, the Stoneham family was talking with Minneapolis about them moving out there. Fly ball, right field. Jensen has it for the out. Avila has to go back. Now, I don't know what they would have done. Al Smith, by the way, has a single. A run scored and a walk. He's 1 for 1. If the Giants had not gone out to the coast with the Dodgers, because I think the Dodgers were looking Los Angeles all the way. If they, of course, they would have stayed if they'd gotten a dome in Brooklyn. But I wonder how they would have done that. Would the league have approved a move without another team on the West Coast? It was Walter O'Malley who convinced Horace Stoneham to go to San Francisco and look before Stoneham got the greatest snow job in baseball history. Pitch to Smith. There's a ground ball to second. Lepsio has it. Budin for 1. Sawx for 2. They turn it 4-6-3. So the Red Sox are through the inning. No runs, a hit, and no errors. After 4, Cleveland 3, Boston nothing. Well, maybe the biggest snow job until Bobby Bonilla conned $1.5 million out of the Mets and the Orioles every year. Lepsio is 0 for 1. White and Budin to follow here in the 5th. So, as the story goes, and I've told this before, the mayor of San Francisco brings Horace Stoneham out to Candlestick Point in January and says, on a blustery day, and he says, well, you know, if it's this nice in January, and it was a pleasant winter day, imagine what it would be like in summer. Just a reminder, there was no Google in 1957. Pitch to Lepsio, popped up, Hegan to the screen, and he will make the catch. A web gem. That one just kind of, he waited and got it, and that is an out for Sammy White, who's 0 for 1. Expansion in San Francisco? I would have thought so, but remember, they didn't expand until 62. I don't know if the NL would have expanded in 58. Here's White. He's 0 for 1. I mean, it took the threat of the Continental League to get the NL to get anybody to expand. And that's how New York got the Mets as an expansion team. How many millions of dollars will Ohtani get after he retires due to deferred payments? Isn't most of that contract deferred? It's in the hundreds, I know that. Pitch to White, center field. Busby doesn't even have to move. 2 out for Budin, who had that double his first time up. Just in time for the Sawx comeback. I think San Francisco would have had to have gotten an expansion team. Or do they encourage another team to move? It would have had to have been a National League team. You know, the Pirates aren't going anywhere. Cincinnati wasn't going anywhere. And the A's had already left Philadelphia, so I'm not sure what they would have done. Pitch to Budin. There's a fly ball, left center. Back goes Woodling to the track, and that is off the wall. So Budin has his second double of the day, his 19th of the year. So runner in scoring position, 2 out for Porterfield, who is 0 for 1. Got a swing here. Struck him out. 8 for score. 37 degree. Is snowing earlier today. Halfway home, Cleveland 3, Boston nothing. He joined us late. Here's how we got here. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Indians. No runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors for the Red Sox. Al Rosen, an RBI single in the first to score Al Smith to make it 1-0. And then Jim Hegan, a 2-run blast, his 4th of the year to make it 3-0 in the second. Herb Score, who apparently pays me for every start, 3-hitter through 5. He has fanned 8. In his last 2 games, he has struck out 22 in 14 innings. Bob Porterfield, 4 innings, 5 hits, a nice stake, 3 runs, all earned, the home run. He has walked 4. The Red Sox, by the way, have an earned run average of 428, and that's not their forte. That's one of the reasons why they are within a shout of Cleveland in first. And the Indians lead the American League in pitching at 319. Wirtz 0 for 1 with a walk. That's in the shallow center. Pearsall coming in, 1 out. For Al Rosen, 1 for 2 with an RBI. That's in the center. Pearsall, 2 out. So Porterfield, after our first rocky couple innings, has settled in. Jim Busby walked and is 0 for 1. That's a ground ball to Budden. Don has to wait for it. Throws to first. Busby running, and he beats it out on the bang banger. Busby just put it into overdrive. Thankfully, he wasn't in an Edsel. And there's 2 out for Carrasquel, who singled, walked, and scored. Popped up. Left side. Rainmaker on this beautiful night. Budden there makes the catch. And that'll do. No runs. The Indians have left on 7, and after 5, it's 3-0 Cleveland. So 73 degrees again. Lake Erie is a sheet of glass out there. It is just smooth. Just like the songs I was singing earlier. Smooth. Jimmy Pearsall has struck out twice. Speaking of not smooth, like my voice. Herb Score, 85 pitches, 5 innings, 3 hits, and 8 strikeouts. Pearsall has gone down twice. And he draws the walk. A hard fastball that missed, and the leadoff runner for Boston's on in the 6th. So Score lost him on 4 pitches. Here's Klaus. Billy 0 for 2 with a K. Score deals. Klaus rips this one into right for a base hit. Pearsall will hold on second. So first and second, and all of a sudden for Grunert, he is the tying run. Score, a little itchy in that wool uniform on the mound. Slices this one foul, third base side. And someone from Toledo made that catch. 1-2 the count. Gernert in the left field. Woodling going back will make the grab. And for the out, and Pearsall will bluff. But you're not going to run. Don't be the double play. So 1 out for Jackie Jensen, who's 1 for 2. Jackie has singled and stolen a base. There's a chopper down to third. Rosen has it. He'll go across the way. Jensen's running, and he is out on a bang banger. 2 out for Zouchin, who's 0 for 2 with a K. So, of course, you got to take this statement with a large grain of salt. But the 4 original 6 NHL American-based franchises have all missed the playoffs. The Bruins, the Rangers, the Hawks, and the Red Wings. I can't believe that hadn't happened before. Although in the original 6 era, 2 of those teams would have had to have gotten in. But that's pretty stunning. Pitch to Zouchin. Struck him out. 9 for Score. A 4-hitter through 6. No runs, a hit, and no errors. Boston's left on 5 after 5.5. Cleveland 3. Boston nothing. So Hegan, Score, and Avila here in the 6th. Jim 1 for 2. It's his home run in the 2nd. That gave Cleveland a 3-run lead. That is a ground ball to first. Zouchin underhands it to Porterfield, 1 out. For Score, Herb is 0 for 2. Got him! And for Porterfield, that's his first strikeout of the game. Score stood there like a barn on the side of the road on an 0-2 off-speed pitch. 2 out for Avila. Bobby 1 for 3, a single. Porterfield, again, after the rough first couple innings, has gone 3 2/3 scoreless. 97 pitches, 5 2/3, 6 hits, the home run to Hegan. He has walked 4 and struck out 1. Got him! That's 2 for Porterfield. He's just getting stronger as we're going along. We've played 6. Cleveland goes in order. We might get that comeback there, Johnny. After 6, Cleveland 3, Boston nothing. So Lepsio, White, and Budin to face Score here in the 7th. This Ted does not fish, at least on game day, and he's 0 for 2. Make it 10 for Score. He chased a 1-2 fastball at 97. Again, you just hear that hit the glove. You really can't see it. Here's Sammy White. He's 0 for 2. Anyone watch the Baseball Bat Bros? Pitch to White. That's into right. Smith. 2 out. For Budin has doubled twice. He's 2 for 2. Excuse me. And he walked. So a 2-out walk. Now you can make me make a decision on Porterfield, aren't you? Yeah, Jamie's watched them. I have a lot more understanding for bat speed and that watching their stuff. It's the entertaining watch, but they use wooden bats and different kinds of balls and hot bats and that. I think their home base is Bend, Oregon. But I've seen them do videos. Well, we can't say it's Major League. We don't want to offend Scotty, but at Pac Bell or whatever, or Oracle or whatever they call themselves this week, Hawaii, I've seen them video from. They were down in Louisiana last November. Do I want to make a change now? Well, let's take a look. Not really. I want to hang on to Porterfield. 2 out, 0 for 2, going to swing. Popped up right side. Avila running. Is he going to run out of real estate? I think he is. And that will hook foul. So 1-2, 2 out. Porterfield just making Score work. Computer, by the way, doing Cleveland with this being a Red Sox game. Pitch to Porterfield. He laces another one foul, this time down the third base side. And somebody from Cleveland made that play. 0-2 the count. He got the K, but he made him work for it. That's 11 for Score. Stretch time here at Cleveland. 3-0 Indians. Tribe Fan says their office is in the same town as the last blockbuster video on Earth. Interesting. Make it a blockbuster night. I must have either insulted Yingling, Cincinnati, or Philadelphia because John has changed his mind. Gene Woodling is 0 for 3. Porterfield. Let's see if this backfires on me. Trying to keep this a 3-run game. That is up the middle. Pearsall makes the catch. How about that? That was line to center, and Pearsall ran in a couple steps. 1 out for Al Smith. 1 for 2. Al has singled and walked. You can't change your vote. Line to Budin, 2 out. Cleveland, by the way, leads today's poll at 62%. Not surprising. They are the better team. Vic Wirtz is 0 for 2 with a walk. To Lepsio, and it's a 1-2-3 7th. How about that? Cleveland goes in order. John's trying to work. I've never had one. After 7, Cleveland 3, Boston nothing. So Score 27 batters, 125 pitches, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts. So in his last 16 innings, Score has struck out 25. Foul tipped it. Pearsall has struck out twice and walked today. He's 0 for 2. 2-1 was fouled off. And he draws the walk again, so Pearsall 50-50 today. Billy Klaus is 1 for 3. Gonna drop one down. It goes. Hegan throws to Avila covering, and it worked. So Klaus with a surprise bunt, and Pearsall moves into scoring position for Gernert, who was 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Parallel League says, my young work colleagues laugh at me when I say I'm going to go tape a game. I'll joke with my wife about film at 11. I'm sure that anyone under 50, maybe Tim, because Tim's a pub quizzer, would go, what's that? Pitch to Gernert. There is a line drive to Rosen, and Pearsall heads back. 2 out. But if you're watching this, chances are you are not under the age of 40. Jackie Jensen's 1 for 3. He has singled and stolen a base today. No runs as we play the top of the 8th. 4 hits and 2 errors for Boston. They've left on 6. Herb score, throw to Jim. Porterfield holding his own. 3 runs for Cleveland. 6 hits and no errors, and they have left on 7. Pitch to Jensen. Runner on second. Base hit up the middle. Pearsall will round third and score, and the Red Sox break through. 3-1 ball game now as Jensen has the RBI single. Here's Sawx. Who can hit a lefty? And the answer is going to be Ted Williams. Ted is a pinch hitter at 273, a homer and 3 RBI. They pulled Ted off the boat. He's actually still in his waders. He's got the jersey on and the pants, but on his waders, hitting 281 overall. Only had 96 at-bats. 7 homers and 20 RBI. At some point, he'll play every day. Tim is 45 and definitely used a VCR to record a game and had to make sure to get the right one. Oh, yeah. You remember VCR Plus? Pitch to a throw to first. Jensen's back. 2 out. Red Sox trying to tie this puppy up at 3. 3-1 Cleveland, 2 out here in the 8th. Pitch to Ted. Ripped foul. First base side. Wirtz won't get there. 1-2 the count. Jeremiah, the ever-productive bulldog frog, worked at a Blockbusters back in the 90s. Fun times, cute girls. I bet. Parallel League had a beta. That was the first one I ever saw. My grandfather had it. The college he worked for before he became too disabled to work had them there to tape shows. And the timer was a separate unit. It was an analog clock. Pitch to Williams. Struck him out. Score has fanned 12. We're through 7.5 here at Cleveland Municipal Stadium. Red Sox threaten but do not score. 1 run, or they do score. A run on a hit and no errors. After 7.5, Cleveland 3, Boston 1. So Gernert moves to first. Williams moves to left. He's a 4-4. Gernert's a 5. Porterfield trying to go the distance. Trailing 3-1. Al Rosen, Jim Busby, and Carrascal here in the 8th. Al 1 for 3. He has singled and driven in a run. Was thinking of mentioning that. Put the code in and it would record that window and channel. Yep. It was the giveaway one year during a PBS pledge drive. And so I got one. Never owned a VCR at that point, but I had a VCR Plus. They sent it to you anyway. Jamie had a beta when he was a kid. It was sad when we went to rent videos until we could got a VHS. Yeah, we got our first VCR, I think, in 87. They were not cheap. Rosen 1 for 3 in RBI. When I got together with my not quite wife at that point, pitched to Rosen, and Al draws the walk. One of the things that we bought was a 4-head VHS player. and paid $350 bleeping dollars for the damn thing. She loved it. Busby 1 for 2, single and a walk. Porterfield trying to get through the 8th. Pitch to Busby. That's a bunt. White to Budden for 1, and that's all they'll get. So Busby surprised me, put it down. It is not a sacrifice. White was watching for it. 1 out for Carrasquel. 1 for 2. He is singled, walked, and scored. Paleo League says, I can't sing either. That's fine. None of us can. Maybe Barbara can. I was singing I'm a Believer the other day. My girlfriend said if I don't stop singing, she'd kill me. But then you saw her face. And now I'm a believer. I wouldn't leave a cleaver for her if I tried. Oh, I saw her face. And now I'm a believer. Without a trace. Honey? Why is Keith Morrison on your phone? Pitch to Carrasquel. That's up the middle. No, right to Pearsall, who makes the catch. Busby was halfway to second, and he got back in time. Heads up play by Jimmy Pearsall, who really is a heck of an outfielder. He was just played perfect. The scouting report was perfect. I thought that was going to drop in. So did Busby, because Busby really was halfway to second, and Pearsall has a cannon for an arm. And Busby got back. Keegan homered in the second. He's 1 for 3. And now is a difference in the game with it 3-1, 2 out in the 8th. This is why Barb lives alone, so she can be loud and proud and doesn't care. My cat's asleep. If I play music on my speaker thingy, she will get upset and leave. So people who can sing upsets my cat. If I sing, pitch to White and Porterfield have a word. Bob whines and fires. There's a ground ball to third. Klaus has it over to Lepsio, and that will do. So Porterfield did his job. Cleveland only put 3 up. It's not over. No runs, no hits. The Indians have left on 8. No errors. Yeah, come in, Kevin. Come in. It's Cleveland 3, Boston 1. I think I have prescriptions and I can't answer that door. So Lepsio, White, and Budden. The face score here in the 9th. Ted 0 for 3 with a K. And Score has struck out 12. And he hit him. So that brings up the tying run for Sammy White, who is 0 for 3. We'll leave White in there just in case we go extra. Porterfield won't bat again. That is a fly ball, right field. Smith will make the catch. And hold on 1 second so I can yell. All right, so we're back. Here's Budden. He's doubled. So the tying run on first. Score, now getting tired. Budden the tying run. Score, and he can have a word. Pitch to Budden, that's up the middle. 1 to Carrascal, 2 to Wirtz. And the Indians will win this one by the score of 3-1. A tailor-made double play ball, and the Indians win this one 3-1. I bet your cat thinks you're in heat. I am a boy. So the Indians get the double play to win the ball game, and Herb Score gets the win. 3 runs. Oh, it was 2 hours and 25 fake minutes. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Cleveland. 1 run, 5 hits, and 2 errors for Boston. You're more than welcome. The Indians go to 35-23. The Red Sox go to 31-27. They left on 7. Herb Score will be your digital dice MVP. A 5-hitter, 1 run, 9 innings. He walked 3 and struck out 12. So over his last 18 innings, Score has fanned 27. Porterfield pitched well. But you see, the problem for Boston going forward is that their pitching is just meh. 8 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned, a homer. He walked 5 and struck out 2. So the rest of this Wednesday in baseball, in a moment. Cleveland's lead is now 3. You too, Barbara. Everyone else plays. Happy summer of 56. Brooklyn beat St. Louis 7-3 at Ebbets. Sandy Koufax gets the win 4-2. Dixon falls to 4-3. Kenny Boyer 2 for 4, hits his 15th for the Cardinals and drives in 2. Giants shut down the Cubs 1-0. Just in case Scotty was wondering. Worthington 6-3. The Kaiser roll falls to 1-3. Grissom picks up his 5th save. Chicago keeps pace with Cleveland. They beat Baltimore 4-3. Pollitt 1-1. Billy Lowe's falls to 1-1. Consuegra picks up his 5th save. Billy Heft shuts out the Yankees 6-0. He goes to 7-2. Cucks. That Koufax time may be good. Parallel League, you're welcome. House 2 for 4, hits his 5th and drives in 2. Braves beat the Pirates 11-7 at Forbes. Gene Connolly goes to 3-1. Vern Law 1-8, and hello Walls 2 for 3 with 2 triples. In the Midlife Crisis Bowl, the Phillies beat the Redlegs 3-1. Kurt Simmons 5-4. Fowler falls to 6-4. Kazansky 2 for 3, hits his 3rd, drives in 2. Washington beats KC 5-4. Weisler 5-3. Harridge 1-5. Lopez hits his 12th, 3 for 5 with 3 RBI. We'll close out with Cincinnati and Brooklyn tomorrow, noon Eastern. Lawrence and Magley. And then it'll be the Yankees and the White Sox for you to start next week. That'll do it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ron Juckett. We will talk to you tomorrow for the Redlegs and the Dodgers from Ebbets. Have a good night, everybody.